Evet efendim, hızla devam ediyoruz. Yine uzaklardan gelen bir konuğumuz var. Kendisi Microsoft'un Dubai'de Orta Doğu sorumlusu bir İtalyan konuğumuz. Alkışlarınızla efendim, Paolo Pulcini. Welcome. Welcome, Pulcini. Come sta?
Grazie. Oh, greeted in Italian, that's great.
Bu arada simultane kulaklıklarınızdan tercümeyi dinleyebilirsiniz.
So I apologize for not speaking Turkish. Can everybody hear me okay? Thanks. So my name is Paolo Pulcini, as was said, I think. I'm from Italy, but I live in Dubai, and I'm responsible, in Microsoft, I'm responsible for the modern workplace organization, so basically covering Middle East and Africa for all the products that help our customers be more productive, more mobile, and just in general, keep up with what we will be talking about, which is digital transformation. I must say the presentation from Dennis Bank was very impressive, extremely impressive. I actually have a favor to ask you, because I've been in Microsoft 10 years, and I have not met Bill Gates yet. So I need a new computer, so I think I know where to go now that can help me. I liked, especially from the presentation, the distinction between machines and humans, which is the ability to dream. I think as technology advances, we've been, we said the distinction is that, people have ideas and so forth, and these kind of distinctions have been lost in time, but the ability to dream, I think machines will never have. So I love that, and we'll be using that too, so if you don't mind. So let's see if this works. Yes. A couple of statistics. I actually participated in an event very similar to this one in Istanbul about 5 or 6 months ago. And we talked about the role of digital transformation, about being more productive, and how that applies to project management. Things have changed a bit since then, even in the past 6 months. So just a couple of statistics. We have 2 times the number of teams today that we had 5 years ago, so a lot more collaboration. 41% of all employees say they're using mobile apps a lot more, so it's, like was said also in the previous presentation, we are now officially mobile. We don't work at computers anymore. There's a lot of information overload. So in the presentation I did a few months ago, I talked about the need to filter information, that we get so much. Now with all this collaboration, we get a lot of information from everybody, and the challenge is making it relevant, right? How do you know? A person very close to me that works at Microsoft with me yesterday opened up her PC and she had 7,000 unread mails, right? How do you know if in there's something important? I'm hoping she's at least reading my mails, but with 7,000 unread mails, you know that there's something wrong there, right? So the relevance, 25% of employee time is being wasted on just figuring out what is important and what isn't. Security, of course, 160 million customer records were leaked. That's a lot of information coming out. Is everybody familiar with WikiLeaks? Yeah, okay. I'll bet you there's a WikiLeaks every day happening, just not as newsworthy. And finally, today it takes an organization an average of 229 days to detect a security infiltrator. So to find a problem in your security, it takes you an average of 229 days. Now imagine, if you are under attack or there's a security risk, and you only discover it 229 days later, imagine what kind of damage can happen. So, this is a quote that I actually heard here in Turkey for the first time, and I loved it. If you think about it, 10 years ago, technology was busy catching up with business demands. So, in business, I'm not a technological person, we had demands, and we kept going to IT, asking IT to keep up with us. How can you help? How can your tools help me do what I do better? How can your tools help me be quicker, be more agile, be whatever. We kept going to IT looking for ways to do what we do better. The risk there was that we were missing opportunities to improve our process, to be more effective. Every time I went to IT and I said, my computer's too slow, I need something quicker. I'm not able to cut and paste from these two different applications. These two applications don't read from each other. And IT said, sorry, can't help you. That was a missed opportunity for being more effective. That was 10 years ago. Today, it's the other way around. Today, business is busy trying to catch up with what technology has to offer. If you think about the technology tools that are out there, all the different things that are available, in business, we're trying to think, how can we make the best use of these? How can we make the best use of this dynamic chatting ability? How can we turn agility from a buzzword to an actual opportunity used? How can we actually really make the best use? I mean, I saw the virtual reality applications, and I'm thinking, how many practical applications there could be in business, in our day-to-day life, in work, that would really make an impact? You know, aside from just, you know, that whale video was incredible. So the risk today is that we're missing opportunities to redefine our processes. So 10 years ago, we were missing opportunities for our processes to become more effective. Today, we're missing opportunities to actually redefine how we do things. So not do things quicker, but do them differently. Can you please see, just raise your hands if you've heard the term digital transformation. Also, a lot of people have not heard the term digital transformation. Okay, that's interesting. There's about 2/3 of the top companies today are working on some form of digital transformation project. Okay? It's a buzzword. If you remember about 8-9 years ago, the buzzword was cloud. All you had to say was cloud, and everybody would say, yeah, cloud. No one knew what it meant. No one knew what it was, but it was a buzzword. Today, it's digital transformation. So if I was to ask, you know, how do you define digital transformation? I've heard definitions like going from paper to paperless. I don't think that's right. That actually happened 20 years ago. What we're doing today, and if you see, this is the Wikipedia. Everybody familiar with Wikipedia? Yeah? You know how Wikipedia works? Yes? Who's saying yes? Oh, okay. My Microsoft colleagues. Okay. Anybody else? No? Wikipedia actually collects opinions, facts from everybody else and puts them together and says, statistically, this is probably what it means. Right? So it can actually sometimes be wrong. In this case, I lucked out. I was lucky because after we in Microsoft decided how we define digital transformation, I went and looked at what Wikipedia says, and it does talk about it's a transformation stage that means digital usage inherently enables new types of innovation and creativity. And it's rather than simply enhance and support the traditional methods. So it is changing the way we do things, not just do them quicker. Okay? So the way we interpret this digital transformation and how we respond to it in today's business, we look at it basically on 4 pillars. 5 months ago, when I participated in an event like this, I talked a lot about intelligence. Okay? I talked a lot about the need to go from data to information, from information to insight, to make the data that we receive every day relevant. But there's other pillars. Mobility, of course, where everything's mobile. We said 40% of every employee works mobile. Collaboration, very important to collaborate among all of us. And trust, security. The more you open it up, the more you work with everyone, the more you let everybody participate, the more a project, in order to be agile, requires more users to be interfacing dynamically and continuously, the more you need to have security. Correct? Now, security, I mean, it could be from viruses, it could be from attacks, it could be from damage, from unintentional damage. You need security, but the security cannot be at the expense of productivity and agility. It has to be an intelligent security. Okay? So, talked about intelligence. Very important to never lose sight of assessing the relevance of what you do. How interesting is this fact to me? How important is this mail? What do I need to do for this meeting? How do I prepare? Mobility, you need to be mobile. Everything needs to work mobile. If I'm managing a project, everybody that's working on the project with me, that's participating, needs to have access to it mobile. They don't have to go to the office to update a task. Trust, security, and finally collaboration. And what we'll talk about now is the collaboration aspect. For a project to truly be agile, you need to have people working on it simultaneously and continuously. So our mission in Microsoft is to empower every person in every organization on the planet to achieve more. Please notice the word every person. Everyone in the organization needs to have access. If you think about it, till very recently, project management was a domain of the project manager. Some of the task owners maybe had a little bit of access or could come in and so forth, but the project was managed centrally and there wasn't as much interface with other people in the organization. What we're saying is everybody needs to be empowered. Everybody needs to have a say. Everybody needs to contribute to the project at any time. And I'll show you an example. That kind of approach is a way to guarantee agility. What's agility? Is everybody familiar with the term agility? Yeah? It's a common term in project management. So how do I guarantee agility? Agility means to be quick. When I started working a long time ago, there was a saying that said, big fish eats small fish, right? Then it became fast fish eats slow fish. It was more important to be fast than to be big. Today, it's not even to be fast, it's to be agile. You need to be able to change, to move. And for big organizations, especially like Dennis Bank or like Microsoft, it's very difficult sometimes to change the way you do things. You have a lot of people, right? In Microsoft, we're 130,000 employees. It's very difficult to change. But what you do is you look at it at a project level and you're agile there. You need to be equipped and available, and you need to be skilled enough to be able to change the way you do a project, the way you actuate something, without impacting the total organization, but in a quick way and agile. Move quickly, agile. How do I go back? Okay, I want to show a quick video now, just to give you an idea of how we interpret a project. And please remember the mobility, the collaboration, the agility parameters, and you'll see that depicted here in this really quick video of this is a person working, actually starting, getting an idea, working on, collaborating, and completing a project, all without, I believe she never even sits at a desk.
Mom, you're wasting water. You know how important water is.
I'm sorry, honey.
Thanks for the ride, Mom.
Your clean energy meeting was moved to 3 p.m.
Add task, evaluate campus recycling. Show me our proposed green initiatives. Compare top 2 waste management plans. As you can see here, switching to solar is high impact and it's in alignment with our strategy. Now, I'd like to add in a campus recycling project. This will complement our solar initiative, and I'm engaging with teams from around the world.
Show me our top internal team members with sustainability and environmental impact experience.
Our Seattle team would love to collaborate with your engineering team in Brazil.
Ótimo! Vamos analisar as especificações do seu projeto juntos.
Your joint impact statements are up to date.
Thank you all for joining me today. I have some excellent news to share regarding our environmental project portfolio. We have significantly reduced energy consumption and gas emissions. Come take a look at this.
I'm proud of you, Mom.
You know how important water is.
Okay? All of that technology exists today. And actually a lot more. There's a lot more out there. So how do we get our organizations to work like that? Can you imagine, I don't know about you, but I can imagine me trying to do something like that? Right? That's the way, that is agility. She had an idea taking her son to school, starts working on it before she gets anywhere. That actually kind of reminds me of the drive over here with Yelitz. She was doing other things, and we ended up with our car up a hill here. Not in the parking lot, just up a grass hill here outside. So I was like, maybe it was better if there she would concentrate on driving. But you see what agility means, what collaboration is. She was working with people in Seattle, across the world. Everybody participated. At the end, she had a finished product. Finished product that was enriched with insights and that was ready and at any point could have changed. Now, this project lasted one day, but had it been a week, 2 weeks, a year, as long as you keep the collaboration going, you're changing things continuously. And you don't have to worry about being out of date. So the guiding principle is, if you're important enough to have a task, you should always have a say. If you have a role in a project, you should always be able to go back to that project and feed insight and information into it. Okay? Here's an example. This is actually a few years ago when I was living in Italy and working for Microsoft. I worked from a big data. I was specialized on big data. And this is a pharmaceutical company, customer of mine. If anybody's familiar with the pharmaceutical industry, the process of creating a new drug is an incredible project in terms of cost and in terms of time. And it is the example, any project manager's dream, because it's really a project. It's managed very, very, very carefully. It involves a lot of steps, as you can imagine, creating a medicine. And if you see how it starts is, they start with approximately 10,000 different compounds. And it works down here, 6.5, 7 years. I mean, how many medicines can one person create in a lifetime, right? And then it gets to, they go from 10,000 to 5 compounds, and then there's a period of about 8.5 years in which the medicine is tested, you try it different ways, and then you finally get in this case, it was an American drug maker, so FDA approval, but basically you need the approval before you can actually go to market, right? If you look at it this way, it costs an average of $2.6 billion to create one new medicine, okay? And takes approximately 10 to 12 years from when the idea is had to the medicine being finished. Now, the project we worked on with this pharmaceutical company is, imagine, so if I can go back, imagine if you're somewhere down close to the FDA review cycle, and someone finds out that one of your 5 compounds, somewhere in the world, is causing cancer. This has happened. You've already spent maybe 2 of the $2.6 billion, right? You find out only at the very end, potentially because it's published or something like that. Now, what you need is the people, the organizations, the external organizations that were working on this phase, that were doing the testing, the vetting of the compounds, need to have continuous feeding in, because they need to know that if out of those 10,000, those 5 are selected, how do those 5 interact among each other? These are the experts here. They're part of the project. In an old-fashioned project, these guys are forgotten. Their job is done. In an agile project, They are participating and feeding information in as they go. I heard this news, slow down, try to change this, and so forth. Very important to stay agile and continuously feeding, and everybody that's part of the process needs to be participating in it. Okay? Story here. So before I joined Microsoft, I worked in a very, very high-end, very sophisticated search engine. So everybody's familiar with Google? Yeah? Does anybody use Bing? No one uses Bing? Not even the Microsoft people, huh? Bing. Yeah, you still don't use it. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't use it. I use Google. But the search engine that I worked in was very, very, very high level. And we specialized on working on getting companies to move quicker, make decisions quicker. We were able to index approximately 20,000 websites twice per second. It was very, very high end. Right? We had most of the security companies, the police, secret police were our customers, obviously, pharmaceutical companies and so forth. But we also had a social side to us. So we were very concerned about this proliferation of collaboration and the potential security impact it would have on what we do. So when you give access to many people, you open the door to risk. When you give a say to many people, you open the door to noise. You have too many people with an opinion, sometimes you create too much noise. And if you don't have the right tools to filter the information out, go from data to information to insight, you risk creating a lot of noise that can actually block and slow down a process. Now, this website, no one's probably familiar with this, but used to be very popular. It was called pleaserobme.com. And we created this website, and it was to show what oversharing could do. So if you went into this website, back before Microsoft made us close it, but if you went in there, it would collect information from all the social tools that we have out and consolidate them into opportunities for stealing. So you would go in and you'd say, oh, look, there's a gold star opportunity somewhere in New York. And the example I always gave was an actual person who had gone on LinkedIn and talked really badly about a company that made alarm systems. Said, I bought this alarm system, I paid $10,000 for it, and it doesn't work. Not only does it not work, when I installed it in my house, it broke my door, so now the door doesn't even close well. Then on Facebook, the same person saying, I'm going on vacation to Italy for 2 weeks, which I'm really looking forward to it and happy and so forth. The tool then triangulates where this person lives, because you have that data, and sees when everybody else in the building is going to be gone. And then provides a Google Maps image of a parking lot where you can park your truck. And it says, look, you have 2 days, no one's in the building, his door's broken, so you just push it open, and you can park your truck here, you can empty out the house. Now this is a clear example of oversharing, of what happens when you give too much information and you consolidate it, the damage that you can do if not used in the right situation. So again, using information correctly, applying it in the correct way. I mean, I had worked on 6 months ago, I talked about the case with a bank where we were building insights into our project management with this customer, where they were deciding and saying, if we're going to do an action in a branch, we don't want to just know what the financials are of the branch. We also want to know what the what the customers of the branch are saying about the branch. And I gave the practical example of the bank was trying to select where to market a loan, where to do a promo. And this is actually the largest bank in Italy. So they were looking at all the branches, and one of the branches came up top. This is the branch with the best customers, with the best market, customers pay on time, have a lot of money. This is where I really want them to go ask me for a loan. Now, if you looked at it, if you built in social information to give it more insight, what you realized was that on the social media, everybody in that town were speaking really badly about the bank. Because a year ago, and this is true, a year ago, that bank had refused a loan to a local business owner. That local business owner had gone bankrupt, and he had committed suicide. This made the bank look terrible in the society. Now, normally, the bank would have decided that's a good branch, good financials, let's launch our new loan there. And the marketing campaign was, you know, come to us, we're the friendly bank, we help the small person. That would have been a disaster to launch it in a town where everybody's accusing you of having killed or having been the cause of a suicide, of a community leader, a suicide. So that instead, based on that, they didn't select that branch, but they then moved, and that project mutated immediately from new loan marketing to rebuild reputation. So let's invest in the school. Let's do something socially useful. Again, same thing, decide what is my business, as a BDM, what do I need to do? And by building insights from everywhere, getting inputs, not just from other people, but from other tools, social and so forth, I changed immediately the nature of the project, of what I'm doing. I'm still doing something. This branch is still very important because I have great customers, but now I'm not marketing anything there. I'm actually having to rebuild my image. So do you see the value of the continuous input? Again, without risking to go into that kind of situation, but getting continuous input from everybody. Be enabled to be agile. Right? It's no use having the tools to be agile if you don't actually let everybody participate. But again, going back to our main pillars, it is very important that you stay secure, that you guard yourself about potential damage or potential risks and so forth. Okay, so I think what you'll be seeing then in the later days, today and tomorrow from my colleagues, is how does, in Microsoft's case, our project management tool work. But most importantly, what I would ask you is, keep always in mind the need for agility, the need for speed, the need for collaboration. So I always said, coming from BI, it's not important how quickly you can process some information, how much information you can process, but what's important is what you can do with this information. So does it go into the tools that I use every day? So think about how it integrates, how other people in the organization, their ease of use, because all of us here are probably very good with computers, but if I want my truck drivers to have a say, to be able to input, if I want my flight attendants to be able to participate and so forth, they may not be as technically savvy as us. So keep this in mind when you think about software decisions going into a digital transformation phase, looking at the products that are available and thinking, what do I need these products to do? Think always, my suggestion is think always of the practical applications and how easy, quick will it be, and how will it really foster collaboration, keep me secure, and at the same time enable true digital transformation. Okay? Thank you. Thank you.
In Turkey.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Dakika bir kahve molası veriyoruz. Tekrar görüşmek üzere.
you.